Welcome into another one of my videos where we're going through and testing all of the weapons inside of Modern Warfare 3 to see how viable these weapons are for us to use inside of our Zombies game mode. This is going to include the aftermarket parts, the aftermarket conversion kits, as well as the weapons from MW2. So if you're new around here and you like everything Call of Duty Zombies, make sure you are subscribed with those bell notifications turned on so you're not going to miss out any future uploads from myself. As well, down below in the description you will find the link for my streams, and I stream on Mondays and Thursdays 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I stream a ton of custom zombies and other zombie related games and generally just have a ton of fun over there and would love to see you all come and hang out. Now before we dive into anything today's video, I need to give a massive thank you to each and every one of you as I received this email that the channel has crossed 500,000 views. 500,000 views. I am literally blown away and just about speechless when I received that email from YouTube. So a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you. Now in today's video, when we get to diving in, it's going to be looking at an MW3 assault rifle, the MTZ-556, and this is a weapon that consistently has performed well for me throughout the game. The last time I played with this weapon extensively, I believe, was Season 2, Season 3, so it has been a while since I've checked out this assault rifle, so I thought today would be a perfect opportunity to dive in and take a look at the MW3 assault rifle, the MTZ-556, and we're going to be taking this through all three tiers, taking on bounty contracts all the way through, and then at the end of the video we're going to dive into the dark ether to see how well this assault rifle performs inside of the dark ether. So by the end of today's video you should have a good feel for how the MTZ-556 performs inside of Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, as well how it performs inside of the dark ether, and by the end of the video you should have a pretty good feel on whether or not this weapon is going to be a viable option for you to be using inside of your Zombies game mode. So without further ado, let's get to the assault rifle MTZ-556 review video today. Alright, welcome into another video. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. I truly appreciate that. Now today we're going to be taking a look at an assault rifle, the MTZ-556 from MW3, and I'm honestly pretty excited to get in to see how this weapon performs. Every single time I've gone in and done a review on this weapon, it has been pretty consistent and pretty solid overall choice for all situations, so I was kind of eager to get back into using this, as it's been, I believe, Season 2, Season 3 was the last time I used this assault rifle extensively. So when we do our weapon testing videos here, I spawn in and put on all of my perks with no additions to the weapon to make it any stronger whatsoever. So no pack punch, no ammo mods, and no tools on the weapon. As a mouse and keyboard player, I do run Deadshot Daiquiri every match, as I like the extra critical damage that it does provide. Now our first bounty contract of today was a Mimic inside of Tier 1. And like I said, we take these on at white rarity with absolutely no additions to the weapon, and I was expecting this to be a pretty solid choice. As like I said, the previous times I've used this, it's been pretty consistent. They haven't really done a lot of drastic changes to this weapon, and lo and behold, our first bounty contract went just about as I expected. I was feeling really comfortable using this weapon. Like I said, it's one that's always performed well for me and done well in all situations. It feels good to use. I like the sound of it. The blueprint I have on today, I think it looks really cool, and the camo I have on is definitely something I enjoy. So stick through. I got you guys covered with the build and the camo and the blueprint, so you guys know what I'm running. So the next thing to do after our first bounty contract was go off and visit Pack-a-Punch Machine. If you're new to MW3, as it's recently been released onto Game Pass, and you want to keep your camo in your Zombies games, when you visit the Pack-a-Punch Machine, melee it, make sure the machine turns green, and then go ahead and use your Pack-a-Punch crystals or the Pack-a-Punch Machine, and you will keep your camo on for the rest of the run. So here we are, we picked up our second bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 2, taking it on this time at only Pack-a-Punch. White rarity, no ammo mods, and no tools on it, and we pretty much evaporated our second bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1. So at this point I was feeling really excited to kind of push through with this weapon and see what else we could do with it. So I went on and put legendary on it with my Shatter Blast, grabbed the last bounty contract of the day inside of Tier 1, and it went about as I expected, just like an instant delete, just completely gone. That bounty had absolutely no chance. So then we were clearing out some of the riffraff. I mean, you can see the zombies are just a non-issue at all. Just tapping them and they're gone. So that's definitely good to see. Check the reward rift. We got a perk out of there that I didn't need. So the next thing to do for me was to head straight into tier 2 without increasing any damage output to this assault rifle at all, and go ahead and grab an increased health bounty contract inside of tier 2 and see how well this performs against a bounty contract that's now in tier 2, and we are still only pack 1 legendary with Shatterblast on. You can see how well it was doing against the zombies. Definitely not an issue inside of tier 2, and you can see the health bar on our Mimic bounty contract here inside of tier 3, taking some crucial hits when getting shot from this assault rifle. So the damage output on here, just pack 1 inside of tier 2, I was feeling really confident using this gun, and definitely recommend that you all give this a shot. Definitely think it's going to be a viable option for you. I mean, you can see it shoots laser straight. You got a 100-round magazine when pack-a-punch, so ammo's definitely not an issue on here, and it hits really hard, as you can see. No problems clearing out the tier 2 zombies to get to my reward riff at pack 1 with Shatterblast, so definitely not much of an issue at all. I was feeling really good using this, so check the reward rift to see what we got, which was a Casimir, which was going to come into use later in the run. I was happy to get a Casimir for sure. So at this point, I was eager, very eager, to get off to Pack-a-Punch inside of tier 2 to increase the damage output on this assault rifle and see, you know, just how much more viable this is going to be for us to be using inside of tier 2, you know, taking on bounty contracts, see how it handled the zombies now that we're a double Pack-a-Punch. Not much issue at all. Just like, they're not even a thought, the zombies, at all with this weapon. I just shoot, they're dead. They're dead. Easy peasy. So the next thing to do now that we're in tier 2 at double pack legendary with Shatterblast was to make our way over and grab another bounty contract inside of tier 2. Now we're double pack legendary with Shatterblast. Now when we were pack 1 legendary and Shatterblast inside of tier 1, that contract was basically an instant delete. So I wanted to see, we're in about the same situation in tier 2 right now, and I wanted to see how well it performed, and you can see me jumping up and down. I was excited. This weapon performs really well. It is an absolute joy to use. You feel I don't feel sluggish using this at all when I have it out and I need to run around with the weapon in my hands. I definitely feel like it's got some movement speed to it. It's not going to slow and hamper me down too much. Of course, my builds are usually built towards aim stability and damage. So, of course, there's going to be room to move on my builds for mobility and speed builds, definitely. So at this point, I was excited, like I said, to get into Tier 3, visit the Wonder Fizz machine, grab the rest of the perks that I'm missing, as I like to have all of my perks when I'm inside of Tier 3. And then it was off to visit the Ritual location right here to see if I could recoup my PAP3 crystal and my legendary tool, which unfortunately I was unable to, as this ritual was gone. And usually in my games, if this ritual has been taken, then 99% of the time the other rituals are also been taken. So I don't usually bother trying to go check the other ones if this one's been taken. But I did want to take this opportunity to show you how viable this assault rifle is inside of Tier 3, being Pack-a-Punch level 2 legendary with Shatterblast on it, and I was definitely not struggling at all. We took out a standard HVT Mimic right there. We had a second one in the area as well, able to dish out substantial damage to the Mimic. The zombies are just getting melted as they come towards me, which is just absolutely awesome to see. We've got sprinters right there. We've got armored zombies. We've got that Mimic HVT coming at us that we just absolutely destroyed. He had no chance, which is awesome to see. We're just shredding through the zombies inside of Tier 3 at Pack 2, which is like awesome to see, because that helps, you know, if you're low on PAP crystals and say you want to come in here at PAP 2 and then run some contracts and things so you can get the cash to get yourself to PAP 3, then, you know, it's good to have some weapons that are definitely going to be a viable option to be using inside of Tier 3 at only Pack-a-Punch level 2, and this one definitely falls into that category for sure. I mean, you can see the damage on screen that we were able to do to all of those zombies, all of those HVTs, and we're only PAP 2, so definitely a viable option for us to be using, and super fun to run this weapon. So now I wanted to throw on my PAP 3 crystal that I bring in every single game. And then I wanted to round up a whole bunch of zombies and see how well this handles at max damage output, PAP 3 legendary with an ammo mod Shatter Blast. How does it handle crowd control inside of tier 3 when you have just an absolutely huge horde coming at you? Are you able to mow them down? And I'll just let you look at the footage because it says enough. I mean, you can see we just melted everything. Definitely a viable option for crowd control inside of tier 3, 100%. So the next thing to do is to throw on mags of holding, so we no longer have to worry about reloading, and go and visit our good friend here, Zhorde, the Guardian of the Arches. And I was feeling a little frisky in this fight today, as seeing how well this weapon was performing inside of tier 3 at pack 2 and pack 3. I was really eager to engage Zhorde and see just how well this weapon would perform. Zhorde fired up one laser attack, and we were already out, took out his first head there, which was awesome to see. Fired up a second laser attack, and we were able to knock off his second head already. So this is definitely a viable option for us to be using, for sure. Zhorde is pushing hard, trying to chase me down. I was feeling really confident using this weapon. Plates are definitely an issue inside of tier 3. In my games, personally, when I run Shatter Blast, I don't usually have much of a struggle trying to find plates to pick up and put on, opposed to other ammo mods, but I have heard from other players that it doesn't necessarily work as well for them inside of their games. So I'd love to hear from you all down in the comments section which ammo mods you feel create the most armor plates for us to be picking up inside of tier 3, because it's definitely a struggle without golden armor plates inside of tier 3 to have enough plates, I feel. So here Zhorde fired up his third laser attack at us, and we were just laying in the critical shots. You can see his health bar just get absolutely evaporated when he did that, and we just continued to concentrate our fire in towards Zhorde, and he was almost, I was honestly surprised he didn't die already here. But he turned around. I got one more critical shot as he opened up a mouth just a little bit there and took him out. Not the greatest loot today from Zhorde. I don't think he was too pleased about that. So the next thing to do on my checklist was to head off and grab ourselves a bounty contract inside of tier 3 to see how this assault rifle performs against a bounty contract inside of tier 3. I was hoping for a Mega Abomination bounty contract, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get one today, so we got a Mimic. And then I went over to get the Mimic bounty contract, and it auto-completed itself, but I did manage to pull a sigil out of there, which was awesome. I didn't pick it up on that time. I went back in and grabbed it, so we now have a sigil. So based on what I was seeing from this assault rifle, going from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3, as we increase the damage output on this weapon in the gameplay today, I was feeling confident and wanted to go into the Dark Ether and see how this weapon performs inside of there. Now, for Dark Ether runs, when I do weapon review videos, just so you all know, I come in equipped for a weapon review, and when I do weapon review videos, typically it takes me a while to get into tier 3, so I'm usually not equipped for Season 1 or Season 3 Dark Ether runs, as they have escorts in there, and to just make easy work of an escort, I always like to make sure I have a VR11 equipped. So I think what I'm going to do is do some Dark Ether runs where the video will be just the complete Dark Ether run. That way I can have an opportunity to show you guys how I do those. I've also seen Dark Ether runs suggested in the comments section, so you guys can look forward to that coming on the channel. Now you can see we took off our Mega Abomination right there. He's just a standard HVT, but it wasn't much of a struggle, and you were able to see the critical damage that this assault rifle dishes out to the Mega Abominations inside of tier 3. So before we went off to the Dark Ether, I wanted to stop in at the buy station, make sure I picked up some Casimirs so I can complete the Ether Extractor contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Ether, a sentry turret to help out with the P&D Outlast contract, and my jug suit to help out with the bounty contract in case it was being a stubborn Mega Abomination. So we got those sorted and into our backpack and off to the Season 2 Dark Ether, where we pick up our first bounty contract of the Dark Ether, and this is always the first one I grab, is the bounty contract inside of Season 2's Dark Ether. We make our way over to our Mega Abomination inside of the Dark Ether. Now, I do like to pull him out of the gas if possible, smoke or whatever you want to call that, and come over to this hut here and try and be able to shoot him as he peeks up over the wall. But you can see right here, my Mega Abomination was not engaging. He was hanging out in the gas down there inside of the Dark Ether and was not moving. So in this case is why I bring in a jug suit, just to kind of make easy work of things, so I don't have to worry or stress about dealing with, you know, the Mega Abomination. I saw him making his way over here, but I tried to climb back up on top of that roof. I saw the amount of riffraff in the area, and I said, you know what, let's just do the best option possible. Just get the jug suit out and just take care of the situation once and get rid of everything without having to worry about taking a silly down and hurting myself. Now, knowing there was a massive horde coming behind me, I threw out my one Casimir here. I still had 3 left for the Ether Extractor contract, so I wasn't concerned about it too much. And then I wanted to make my way over to my jug suit, and no, absolutely not. Got absolutely destroyed going to get my jug suit. Made it over and picked it up, and we were able to finally start engaging our Mega Abomination bounty contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Ether. Like, holy smokes, I just got absolutely wrecked. And I was taking an absolute ton of damage while I was using this jug suit to deal with our bounty contract inside of Tier 3. It was absolutely insane the amount of damage that I was getting hit with while I had this jug suit out. I honestly couldn't believe it. We finished off the bounty contract right there, which was awesome to see. We got Elder Sigil, a couple self-revives, and an epic tool, which was nice. I grabbed the loot and made our way over to the P&D Outlast contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Ether. So then it was time to head off and get that contract underway and get it started. So I put my sentry down inside of the P&D area, and then went and turned on the P&D to get it started. Now, the reason why I put a sentry turret inside is to help as I'm running around inside of here with the actual crowd that's coming in. I can kind of group them up and run them by the sentry turret, which will help take out a bunch of the hordes for me. Also, if you're in here without golden armor plates, like you see me do, just make sure you are picking up plates and constantly replating yourself up so you can take those extra first hits without getting a down. That's definitely something I recommend as well. If you can mantle over top of the countertops inside of here, the zombies will have to turn around and run around them. They don't mantle over top of the countertop. So then there was definitely a lot of zombies and just a lot inside of the P&D contract. I hadn't even reached halfway through. I was a little concerned about taking another down. So I put out another Casimir. Still had 2 and my energy mine, so I was feeling okay for the Ether Reactor contract at this point. I wasn't really too concerned about that. That was kind of my thought process. I was like, you know what, we can use another Casimir here, and then we can use 2 for the Ether Reactors, and I'll still be able to get the 3rd one done with my energy mine. So just pushing through, try and focus fire on the disciples when you're in here. Otherwise, you know, you end up with a ton of health beefed up zombies in the air, which is never helpful at all when doing this Outlast contract. But you can see it's absolutely insane in here. As long as you're basically moving around and mantling over these things like I did most of this footage. I didn't do a lot of shooting to complete this, just kind of hop over and keep moving around and you know, let the sentry turret and shoot the ones that I need to as I go, and it was kind of nice to complete that way. So we got that contract finished, which was awesome. Now on to our 3rd and final contract inside of the Season 2 Dark Ether, which is the Ether Extractor contract, which is why we have Casimirs. So like I said, I wanted to go ahead and bring these in as they make these contracts extremely easy to complete. You throw a Casimir, head over and get the phone going, and you will finish it right there. So we got the first one done, which was nice to see. Nice and easy. Throw a Casimir and get it done. I had my energy mine equipped for this one. So I was going to make my way over to do that. And then I was going to dip through here, but I remember taking it down, trying to get through those crystals. So I was like, you know what? We won't be doing that. And then I put my energy mine out to grab the second one. And of course, my phone didn't register. It did on the phone, but it didn't actually do anything. So that was a big L. Had to move on and almost take another down. As we pushed through to the 3rd Ether Extractor, threw out my Casimir grenade for that one, and the phone worked perfectly on this one, which was awesome to see. So we completed that, And then when our Casimir finished, we got our energy mine back, which was awesome. Now at this point, I knew that there was a ton of zombies in the area and they were all going to be coming towards me. So I wanted to make sure, just to share my thought process with you guys, that I was pulling the herd towards me, as I was pretty far away from our last ether contract that needed to be completed, and I had a minute and a half still to go. So I just kind of relaxed, took a breath, got all of the zombies and the riffraff to make their way over towards me, and then I booked it towards our final ether reactor, dropped the energy mine behind me, and thank goodness the phone worked this time and I was able to complete our final ether reactor contract, and then got absolutely wrecked and swarmed trying to leave. But like I always say, like in life, you get knocked down, no big deal. Dust yourself off, get back up, and get back into the fight. And that's exactly what we did, and pushed our way to exfil. What a truly amazing run. What a truly awesome weapon to be using. Definitely something I would recommend for all 3 tiers and the Dark Ether inside of our Zombies game for sure. Now, at the end of the video, like I said, my builds are geared towards damage and aim stability. So let's work together down in the comments suggestions if you want to make any changes to the build, possibly for speed or mobility. Let's work together and make that happen down in the comments section. So this is the build that I used for today's run. So you guys can see right here exactly what I was using. And then for the camo that I was running today, it is the Heat Wave camo, and it is found under all camos inside of your wavelength camo section, and that is it right there. And then we'll show you guys the blueprint that I was using on the MTZ-556 for today's run. And other than that, thank you so very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.